Will the 2016 presidential race be the first time we see a woman at the top of a major party ticket? The most heated speculation is, of course, right now on Hillary Clinton. She has not said whether she'll run, but both parties are already prepping for another Clinton campaign. What are the chances? Joining us now, Executive Director of the Republican PAC America Rising and former RNC Deputy Communications Director Tim Miller, and consultant and former DNC Deputy Finance Director David Mercer. Welcome to you both, gentlemen. Glad to see you. All right, so Hillary Clinton in 2016, still very guarded and cagey on whether or not she's going to do this. If she does, what does she bring to the ticket, Tim?
Well, look, obviously Hillary Clinton has a lot of experience, and you have to have a lot of respect for all the time that she's spent in Washington, but she spent a lot of time in Washington, and she's really not a change agent, but somebody from the past, and that was why she struggled in the last campaign. And so on the Republican side, that's why us at America Rising launched www.stophillary26. We got to do the preparations now to make sure we're ready to beat her 4 years from now, because it sure looks like she's gearing up to run.
Well, the minute the election's over, you know, you're already prepping for the next one. So, David, she's got critics out there. She's got a lot of supporters as well. I got to ask you about the issue of Benghazi, which happened while she was Secretary of State. Do you think for most voters 3 years from now is an eternity in politics, and that won't be part of the campaign?
Well, in answer to your second question, it is an eternity 3 years from now. And with regard to Benghazi, I think that Hillary's record, which Tim spoke to over the years as Senator, as First Lady, as Secretary of State, will be the context for which she launches a campaign if she decides to do so. And Benghazi, among other things, from bin Laden to all of the Arab Spring work and preventing, also getting out of wars, whether it be Iraq, Afghanistan, and downsizing there. So I think you have to look at the total record that Hillary Clinton brings to a potential nomination as opposed to one isolated incident, which a lot of Republicans tried to do during the Clinton administration for 8 years, but they saw that that didn't work, and I don't think that it'll work this time.
It was not scandal-free, those 8 years. It never is for any administration. But let me ask you, do you think other Democrats get sort of ticked off, like, they're only talking about Hillary, what about me? Do you think a lot of them feel like, well, I want to run, but if I try to, you know, Hillary's already she's at the front of the pack.
I think it's a healthy respect for Hillary Clinton, again, with her tenacity. I mean, she traveled to more than 100 countries during her tenure as Secretary of State. We saw how she campaigned in 2008. She is relentless in fighting for women, fighting for early childhood, and a whole host of other issues. And I think she'll be relentless if she decides to pursue, I think she'll pursue those policies whether she runs or doesn't run, but you can count on her doing that if she were to run for the nomination.
As to other Democrats, there certainly is a playbook for beating Hillary Clinton in a primary. Barack Obama set it for them last time. So I think that there are a lot of Democrats who might have respect for her, but are looking at an opening that they see to her left in the primary next time. And as to the Clinton scandals, you know, you mentioned the one-off Benghazi scandal, but we're starting to see a number of State Department scandals, whether it's the ambassador in Belgium, there was a murder in Honduras, where the political people who worked for Hillary tried to insulate her from scandals in the State Department, and that's going to continue to be a problem for her over the coming years.
All right, we have just a little bit of time left, but I want to quickly ask you guys this issue about immigration, whether reform gets passed this time, the Senate version, the House version, what happens? Do you think it's a plus or a minus for somebody like Senator Marco Rubio, who is on most shortlists? He obviously pushing for this, but you have on the other side a Senator Rand Paul, others who say it's a no-go.
I think there's a lot left to play out. You know, Marco Rubio, of course, gets points for showing leadership on this issue. You know, he's in the Senate, and I think the American people are looking for somebody to come up and try to offer solutions. You've got Rand Paul, who's also shown leadership on issues like the NSA, and I think has offered some clear concerns about this immigration reform package and ways that it could be fixed. And I think even Senator Rubio has said, look, there are ways we can make this stronger and better as it goes through the process, and so there's a lot left to play out on that front.
Okay.
I think that Senator Rubio deserves a lot of credit for standing up and getting immigration reform, which failed in 2007. And he sees the numbers. He sees that Romney lost by 44 points the Hispanic vote. He sees the time economically. We just saw the CBO come out, the Congressional Budget Office come out with the fact that $197 billion over 10 years will be saved on the deficit by doing immigration reform. And we also know of the warning that Lindsey Graham gave us, which gave the Republicans, which is it doesn't matter who the candidate is on the Republican side for 2016 if we do not pass immigration reform. So hopefully with those points, we will see immigration reform, especially coming out of the House.
All right, we got to leave it there, gentlemen. Great to see you both. Thank you very much for coming in.
Pleasure.
See you a lot in the next 3 years.